We are Unit 3, Lesson 4. And again, I'm going to walk you through the skill building stuff. That way, if you have issues or questions, you can ask. Again, if you follow along as I'm doing this, it is going to help you get through what you need to do. Because as per our conversation yesterday, last card marking is last card marking. Whatever you did is whatever you did. And we can't go back and change that because I don't have a time machine. But moving forward, you can do better. All right, so we are going to go ahead and start with lesson 4 from unit 1, first bubble. All right, so our instructions here tell us look at the code and try to figure out the last two inputs, how the last two inputs of rectangle works. Change the number in the second rectangle to make the red rectangle longer than the blue one. All right, so again, for me, I like to show my grid and I like to make my workspace big. And once I know what I'm supposed to do, I like to get rid of my instructions because I like having a large space to work in. All right, so if I run this, obviously my rectangle here is shorter than the blue. And the goal here is to make the red rectangle larger. So obviously I know I have to work with the red rectangle. So I know it is the one here on line of code number 7. So I already know that the first two are my XY coordinate. So that means that either 100 or 150 has to control the length because that's what we're working on here. So I'm going to try this first one and I'm going to change this to make it 200 to see what happens. Enter and then reset and run. And that just made it wider. It didn't make it any longer. Okay. So obviously that controls the width. So that means the other one, I'm going to guess, controls the height. So let's make this one longer. So if 150 isn't long enough, let's try 250. And there it is. So now we know that if I'm looking at that full line of code for the rectangle, for this object that I have placed, the first two are my XY coordinate, and then the next two are the width and the height. Again, notice the numbers. So each on my grid, each line represents 50. So this is 100 wide, so that's 2 boxes, and it's 250 long, which of course is going to be 5 boxes because each box represents a length of 50. Issues or questions? Did you hit reset run? So that's where you reset the program if you change anything. If you change anything in your lines of code, you hit reset and then you hit run and it'll run the program again. Okay. So once you're done, make sure you hit the finish button. That'll turn your bubble up top to green or purple. And once this is done, that's when it gets sent to me. So I know it's done. All right, do this. Write code that makes an orange ellipse behind the green one. Don't worry about the exact size as long as the green ellipse is entirely inside the orange one. All right. So they have a model there. So I'm going to keep my instructions on for once in my life. I'm going to hit run. I'm going to do show grid. So I need to have a orange ellipse and a green ellipse on top of it. So the first thing I need is obviously an orange ellipse. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my color over and I'm going to make it orange. I'm going to type that in. Oops, and it'd be helpful if I actually could spell correctly. And then I'm going to bring an ellipse over. And for right now, I'm going to leave the size as it is because I just want to see what happens. And I'm going to hit reset and run. Okay, that is a problem. What did I mess up? What did I do wrong? Okay, we can change the width. What do you want to change the width to? It's currently set at 400. 200? Okay. Awesome. Reset, run. All right, so I think I got the shape now, but there's still a problem. What's my problem? Okay, cool. The green should be which layer? The one that needs to be on the top layer needs to be which line of code, first or last? There it is. So we need to move the green down. Reset, run, and there it is. All I did was grab where it says fill green and then the 200, 200, 200, 150 ellipse, and I pull that to the bottom. And there it is. You want to, on which ellipse? The orange or the green? All right, you want to change that to 250? No problem. Reset, run, bam. Oh, it doesn't matter. He just wanted to see what would happen. Again, the goal here is not to exactly match it. The goal was to make sure that the green was on top and 100% inside the orange, which is what we've done, because that's what the instructions tell us to do. Okay, so again, once you're done, make sure you hit the finish button, and we'll continue. Okay, background. Sometimes you'll want to fill the entire screen with a color. For that, you can use the background line of code. It covers everything on the screen with the color you choose. Run the code to see the background work, and then change the color of the background from yellow to orange. And then it says challenge. There is a purple square that is covered up by the background. Can you change the color of the code so you can see both purple and blue squares? Okay, cool. So, first of all, I'm going to change my background color. So this works like any fill. All you got to do is type in your new color, and we want to change it from yellow to orange. Well, that's what the instructions say. So that's what I'm doing. Awesome. So reset, run. Okay, except for I'm still not seeing my purple square. Where would I need to put the purple in order to be able to see it? Or maybe conversely, why can't I see it? It's on the top, so it's the first layer. So I put my purple square in, and then I put the background, and then I did the blue, right? We don't want to do that. So the purple has to be on top of the background. Again, this is all like layers. And there it is. All I did was grab the purple fill and the purple rectangle, and I pulled it to the bottom. And it really doesn't matter where you pull it as long as it's on. As long as it happens after the background, because the background literally should always be your first layer. Any other issues or questions? We good? Show me some thumbs. We good to move on? I'm ready to go. Give me a second. I have no idea what's going on right now. Are you serious? Oh no, I'm like, if are you serious? Because if so, bring your computer up here because I can help you. Chanel, you good? All right. So go ahead and make sure you hit finish so that the bubble turns color and it gets sent to the teacher. Okay, bubble 4, background. Background will draw on top of everything in your drawing already, so it's important that you order it correctly. Do this. Use a background to make the background black behind the green circle. So I have a green circle. I'm going to turn my grid on, just because I like to turn my grid on. And I am going to add in a black background. Reset and run. What'd I do wrong? Yep, perfect. Look at you guys, knowing code. Background needs to be the first layer. So I'm going to go ahead. Oops, did not mean to do that. I'm going to grab the background. I'm going to slide it up to the first position. Reset, run. Shabam-a-bam. There it is. Yes, you did. All right, cool. So once that is done, again, this is all about making sure that we're putting our layers in correctly, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. Continue. Look, I mean, like, you can change the color or whatever, and that's fine. But I mean, like, just based on your screen, sometimes the colors show up slightly different. Like, I know a lot of times things that are supposed to be blue, according to what they're saying in code.org, show up kind of purple on my screen. All right, Debugging, nice. Parameters. The program uses 4 parameters for the rectangle and ellipse. Remember, it's X and Y, width and height, right? Okay. Debug the program and correct the arrow so that the grass extends entirely across the bottom. Hint, you only have to change one number. What parameter makes your rectangle, the grass, wider? All right, so I have no idea, but let's see what's going on with my program right now. Okay, that is a mess. Apparently I have a cliff and not a field. So I need to extend this further. So in my rectangle, and you'll notice they're using the comment. The comment is just to help you keep stuff straight. It's not going to change anything in the code. It's just notes to yourself. So that little gray box that they have pulled over literally is just so that you can keep which rectangle is which straight. So that is just kind of notations to yourself. So it says draw grass, green. Okay, so I have 0, 300, 200, 100. Which of these numbers should I change to make the grass go all the way across? Okay, change the 200. What do you want to change it to? Remember, this is a 400 by 400 grid. You want to trade to 350? Okay, let's try 350. Set run. Okay, cool. So maybe 400. And there it is. All right. All right. Bubbles 6, 7, and 8 are yours. As always, 8 is the challenge. It is optional. This video will be available through the Google Classroom so that if you need to come back to it later on, you will. But I will create this in the Google Classroom as soon as the video renders. All right.